Evergreen Cemetery at Gettysburg. Cemetery Hill, which the previous little section I shot was over just across the street, across the Baltimore Pike. That is the back of the Gatehouse, which is now, I believe, a private residence. I'm not really sure, but somebody lives there. Even this cemetery was a battlefield. There was no piece of ground within a 25-mile square radius that was sacred ground or considered sacred. The Union troops deployed into this cemetery, and many of the headstones were turned over so the taller ones, so the Confederates could not line up their artillery on the cemetery. As a result, the Confederates firing into here and attempting to take East Cemetery Hill in this line resulted in fighting in this peaceful, or once peaceful, town cemetery. Several of the tombstones that were here at the time of the battle were damaged by shot and shell. Union infantry many of them were forced to actually hide behind the stones as shelter and were being shot at. It's hard to believe that a peaceful place like this was a scene of very heavy fighting. Of course, there weren't near the number of stones in here that there are now, but many of the people, and it could take you a day trying to find them, but many of the more famous citizens in the founding of Gettysburg and those that were, and their families who were present during the battle, are interred in this cemetery. You see many of the names that are common in the history books and accounts. Culp, Spangler, just to name a few. Bushman. You see several of the Spanglers here to the right. Somewhere in here, Baseball Hall of Famer Eddie Plank is interred. I'm not sure the exact spot. I just said that because I noticed the tombstone to the distance there, who were probably his descendants, or at least closely related. Several Weicherts. Sarah and Jacob Weichert owned the farm out on the Tawnytown Road where Tilly Pierce spent a week, and the farm was converted to a field hospital, and she ended up helping to nurse over 700 wounded men. Where you see the American flag sitting is the grave site of Jenny Wade, the only civilian killed at the Battle of Gettysburg. If you ever come here, I would highly recommend taking the tour of the home that she was killed in, which was actually her sister's home, and suffered well over 100 bullet strikes during the battle. Ironically, Jenny fled from her real home, which was on Breckenridge Street, and that home did not receive one bullet strike. She would have been much safer staying at her original home, but she fled to her sister's house where her mother was, and she was shot and killed on the third day of the battle, accidentally, by a sniper bullet that was likely, can't be proven, but likely was fired from the Farnsworth house where Confederate snipers had taken over the attic. This is the only one of only 2 female graves you will see in the world, I believe. I know in the United States, that have an American flag that fly perpetually over them. So Jenny's held in a great position of esteem by people in Gettysburg, and she's considered a national hero. Ironically, her mother would petition the United States government after the war to get Jenny a pension because she was actually baking bread for the soldiers when she was shot and killed, and her mother won, so they received a pension for Jenny's active duty.